tree. Oh, Christmas tree. This is the Derek O'Shea Show.
Welcome to the revolution.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. How's everyone doing on this lovely Friday? We made it to this end of the week, man. It's nice. A little Christmas in the background. Who doesn't like Christmas? Hope everyone's doing good. Willie, Marco, how we feeling? How we doing this evening? Hope everyone is doing freaking fantastic. We made it to the end of this week as news is about to drop like crazy on this show. What is everyone drinking this Friday? What do you got going on? What's the news? Nice music? Yeah, it's a little Christmas. I'm in the Christmas mood, you know? It's that time of the year where it's nice. Let's get in the mood. All right, we'll pause that. But let's get right into some of these tweets. I don't know if anyone's been paying attention to some of these tweets coming out. Matt Taibbi and what's going on with the uncensoring of Twitter. Drinking water as usual. I need occasional to have a beer. I need occasion to have a beer, man. It's an occasion for me. It's Friday and it's been a long week. How's everyone's week been? Everyone do everything at their jobs that they wanted to do everything at their families they wanted to do. Oh. Hey, thanks, Willie. Let's go, Willie. Just for that. Joy to the world. Thank you so much, Willie. It means a lot to me, brother. Hope you're having a fantastic. I hope you enjoyed that interview I did last night with Shane Hazel. That was a super fun interview. I've actually never been really interviewed for a show. Like, I did one show one time, and it just turned out that they wanted me to ask questions. I was like, okay. But here we go through. It's just so hard to keep up with these tweets. So I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's going on as far as Matt Taibbi opening up the Kracken and everything that's happening going on. Like this one. Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the Hunter Biden story with links and postings warnings that may be unsafe. They even blocked the transmission via direct message, a tool he had reserved for extreme cases, IG child pornography. I mean, so much of this drop right now that Elon Musk is dropping on everyone is just confirming everything that we've already believed to be true. You were smooth and natural again, and do you have fun? Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I love communicating with people. Sometimes it's a little weird. I was just telling Shane in the show last night, I was like, sometimes it's hard talking to yourself into a camera. So every once in a while being asked questions and actually having human to human contact a little bit more. I mean, that's why I like engaging with you guys on the chat feed so much, because I feel like I'm not like alone in this. You know what I mean? But so much of what's going on in the Twitter sphere, what's being dropped is like so obvious. Like the New York Post published Hunter Biden's secret emails and exposed based on Hunter Biden's content. Here we go. Here's another one. This is from number 19. The White House spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting about the story and prompting a furious letter from Trump campaign staffer Mike Hand, who Seeth at least pretended to care for the next 20 days. And here's like the email. Kayleigh McEnany has been locked out of her account for simply taking the New York Post story, talking about the New York Post story. All she did was cite the story firsthand, representing that has been reported from other outlets and disputed by the campaign. I need answers immediately on when and how she will be unlocked. This is from Mike Hand. I don't appreciate sometimes when they don't spell well. I can't read it. They appreciate how nobody on this team has called me regarding the news. You will be censoring news articles. Like I said, at least pretend to care for the next 20 days. This is like just confirming everything we've already believed, right? I mean, none of this is like brand new. Here we go. I mean, let's go through all. I mean, I think it's important to go through everything that he's posting right now regarding Hunter Biden's laptop and stuff like that. What about what you're about to read is the first installment in a series based on thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter. Number 3, the Twitter files tell an incredible story from the inside of the world's largest, most influential social media platform. It was a Frankensteinian tale of a human-built mechanism grown out of control of its designer. And that's like the biggest thing is like people are talking about Jack Dorsey and his involvement, and it seems like Jack Dorsey has no idea what's going on half the time, based on interviews like the one with Tim Pool and Joe Rogan. And Tim Pool was like pressing Jack Dorsey constantly, and it seemed like Jack Dorsey had no answers to anything that was going on. So it's only like so much. It's nice to see it with my own eyes. I know, me too. Twitter in its conception was a brilliant tool for enabling instant mass communication, making a true time global conversation possible for the first time. In an early conception, Twitter more lived up to the mission statement, giving the people the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. As the time progressed, however, the company was slowly forced to add those barriers because you have to. Some of the first tools controlling the speech were designed to combat things like spam and financial fraudsters, which is like, okay. Slowly over time, Twitter staff and executives began to find more and more uses of these tools, which is like, yeah, of course. Outsiders began petitioning the company to manipulate speech as well for the first a little and then more often, then constantly, which is like, of course. Because like it just like anything in life, once you have a little taste of the power, you're gonna can want more of that power. Once you feel like you have all the power in the world to press a button and essentially delete someone's speech, essentially delete someone's existence on a platform that is used to mass communicate with most people, that power is intoxicating. By 2020, requests from connected actors to deleted tweets were routine. One executive would write to another, more to review from the Biden team. The reply would come back, handled. What? More to review from the Biden team, and the reply would come back, handled. So the Biden team is outright telling them to look into this. And then the Twitter, whoever is replying on Twitter, because of course we don't have names, says, oh yeah, we got it. We got it. Guy Squiggs, Ozwenza, J6, Jared, 879, what status? Okay. I mean, this is nuts. This was nuts to watch unfold in a painfully slow thread of madness. I know. Yeah, exactly, Wilson. I mean, seriously, I just got home from my from work, and I'm just now reading this, so I'm reacting to this with you guys because I was like, I kept hearing about how this was going to unfold, and I was like, this is going to be nuts. But a Biden team sent out something saying, hey, you need to review these accounts, essentially, the status of this Jared 87 whatever, and then Guy Squiggs or whatever. And then Twitter was like, oh yeah, got it, bro. No problem. No freaking problem, dude. God. And then we keep going. Celebrities and unknowns alike would be removed on or reviewed at the behest of a political party. I mean, I grabbed the first one under SI, defer to safety on high profile, second one. Okay. It's like, what? What does that even mean? Celebrities and unknown alike could be removed for reviewing the best of a political party. I mean, we all knew, right? We all knew the Democrats were colluding with big tech, that they were encouraging them to do things, that they had their hand in everything going on. And you always heard it on places like Young Turks or people on the left constantly saying, hey, that's just a right-wing conspiracy. That's just a right-wing conspiracy. You have no idea what you're talking about. And here's like a perfect example of it being given to them, and they'll still double down anyways. They'll say it's still a right-wing conspiracy. You just wait. Or they'll be like, oh, okay, now they're going to go crazy. Both parties had access to these tools. For instance, in 2020, requests from both the Trump White House and the Biden campaign were received and honored. However, the system wasn't balanced. It was based on contracts because Twitter was and is overwhelmingly staffed by people of one political orientation. And what political orientation is that? I have no idea. There were channels, more ways to complain, open to the left. Is this a breakdown of like the party contributions a party recipient? Good Lord. 185. Democrats. Look at Republicans in 2022. God. Hey, maybe if Republicans would have just given more to Twitter, they could be suppressing those leftists. $451. That's such a huge drop from $14,137. I mean, that's such a huge, drastic drop. Okay, let's keep going down through the list. This is like so obvious, but it's good to see with your own eyeballs. You know, it's like when you're constantly told you're a conspiracy theorist or somebody who's like crazy or fringe or something like that, and you're like, no, I'm actually a pretty stable human being, and then they have all these people that are like constantly make fun of you, and then you have this come out just to confirm everything you believe. It's beautiful. Let's keep going. The resulting slant in content moderation decisions is visible in the documents you're about to read. However, it's also the assessment of multiple current and former high-level executives. Don't you just love it? And I'm sure one of them was on Joe Rogan with Tim Pool. I'm just sure of it. Okay, there was more throat clearing in this process, but screw it. Let's jump forward. 16, the Twitter files, part 1. How and why did Twitter block the Hunter Biden story? How and why? We all know why, because they didn't want this information coming out, because it could be, I don't know, incredibly damaging to our current president right now. The New York Post published Biden. Yeah, we know what the New York Post published. Okay, and then we go. Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links and postings warnings. It may be unsafe, which is what they do anyways. It's a perfect way of pushing your propaganda, is not to even encourage people to read this information, see the actual footage, see the actual photos that were being passed around. Just call it unsafe, call it unwell, call it misinformation, and then it makes people who are like in the middle, makes them go, I'm not going to read it. It's probably the same thing as World Weekly News. Number 19, the White House spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting about the story, and a Trump campaign staffer, Mike Hahn, who seethed, at least pretend to care for the next 20 days, which you know they didn't. Number 20, this public policy executive, Caroline Storm, to send a polite WTF query. Several employees noted that there was tension between comms and policy teams, who had little to less control over moderation and safety teams trust teams. Wait, what's this? Let's open this one up. I like these little excerpts. Hi team, are you able to take a little closer look over here? Thank you. Okay, let's keep going. Storm's note returned the answers that the laptop story had been removed for violation of the company's hacked materials policy. And again, it wasn't hacked at all, but that was the beauty of the whole thing, because you had a drug addict who left a laptop at a laptop repair, which makes sense. It wasn't stolen or whatever crap. Hey, those of you watching, make sure to smash a like button. For those of you watching, I'd greatly appreciate it. Smash that like button like Twitter smashed his Hunter Biden story. Hi, Caroline. Thanks for reaching out to us. Per checking, the user was bounced to a site integrity for violating our hacked materials policy, adding them here for future insights and guidance. Thanks. God. Okay. And then we continue down hacked materials, which is a beautiful way of also, instead of saying unsafe or misinformation, say, hey, this is hacked materials. This is personal information. Don't get it out there. Although several sources recalled hearing about a general warning from federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. Because it was these tech corporations taking it on themselves to go, you know what? We'll do the work for you. We'll do the work for Daddy. Daddy wants this done. Daddy will get it done. 23, the decision that made the highest levels of the company, but without knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, which again, I keep talking about Jack Dorsey. Of course he didn't know. He's not paying attention. I mean, have you seen this guy in interviews? He doesn't know what's going on in the internals of Twitter. Half the time, it seems like he's just making vague answers. And I wouldn't want to be a part of this either, so I get it. With former legal policy trust, Viaja Gade, that's the woman that was with Tim Pool at Joe Rogan. 24, they freelanced it. It is how one former employee characterized the decision. Oh, great. So this is like the best part of the whole story, is like Twitter employees decided to be the moral police of the day because they said, you know what? It's more important for our side to win than the truth to come out. Don't you just love useful idiots? Let's continue. They freelanced it. One former employee characterized it. Hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized that wasn't going to hold. But no one had the guts to reserve it. 25. You could see the confusion in the following lengthy exchange, which ends up in Gadia's and former Trust and Safety Yoel Roth, comms official Trenton Kennedy writes, I'm struggling to understand the policy basis of making this as unsafe. Yeah, I'm struggling because it doesn't make any sense. I'm struggling to make this, okay. I'm struggling to understand the policy basis of making this unsafe, and I think it's the best explainability argument for this. I like that it's like underlined as a misspelling, but he used it anyways. Argument for this externally would be, we're waiting to understand if it's a story is the result of hacked materials. We'll face hard questions on this if we don't have some kind of solid reasoning for marking this link unsafe. Will we also make similar stories unsafe? And she's talking about Fox News, Hunter Biden. Okay. It's unreal. And then we continue. By this point, everyone knew this was fudged, said one former employee, but the response was essentially to err on the side of continuing to err. Let's see what these response. The policy basis is hacked materials, though is discussed. This is an emerging situation where the facts remain unclear, but yet we know for a fact it's hacked materials. So, though it's unclear. Given the severe risk here and the lessons of 2016, we're erring on the side of including a warning and preventing the content from being amplified, because that's more important. Vijaya says, what is the warning that will come up? Because it better be good enough that makes people not want to read. Roth said, when you click the link, you'll see a generic, unsafe URL message referencing spam, malware, and violations of Twitter rules. No ideal, but that's the only thing we have. Ian says, whatever we do in the comms, this will become a biased claim for Jack pre-hearing immediately. Because it is a biased claim. Let's be clear. We're proactively but cautiously interpreting this through a lens of our hacked material policy and allowing the link with a warm and significant reduction of spread. We continue. Former VP of Global Comms, Brandon Borm said, "Can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy? No. As part of the approach to addressing potentially hacked materials, we're limiting visible related story. No, you can't." God, they're like, this is like the most insane read. They're like trying to justify their lie right now. It's like talking to a child who is like caught in a lie, and you just keep pressing the child, and the child can't get out of it. And they're like, well, let's try to rationalize this lie. And it doesn't work. God, it's just so ridiculous. To which former Deputy General Counsel Jim Baker again seems to advise staying on non-course because caution is warranted. I support the conclusion that we need more facts to assess whether the materials were hacked. To assess whether the materials were hacked. Again, with the hacking. At this stage, however, it's reasonable for us to assume that they may have been, and the caution is warranted. How is it warranted? I don't know. It just makes me uncomfortable. Therefore, it's misinformation. There are some facts that indicate that the materials have been hacked. Oh yeah, how? When they say he left it at a laptop repair store. But again, because it's personal information, therefore it's hacked. While there are others indicating that the computer was either abandoned, while others are indicating that the computer was either abandoned, which it was, or the owner consented to allow a repair shop, which it was, to access it for at least some purpose. We simply need more information. And then we continue. Oh, it's just so juice. A fundamental problem with the tech companies in content moderation, many people in charge of speech know and care little about speech and have been told the basics by outsiders to wit. 30. In one humorous exchange on day one, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna reaches out to Gadai, who gently suggests that she hop on the phone to talk about backlash speech. Khanna was the only Democratic official I could find on the files who expressed concern. Well, that's refreshing to see. Children don't turn into better liars when they become an adult. Exactly. These are all children that used to get away with lies, and they just they think they can still get away with it. Gadai replies quickly, immediately diving into the weeds over the Twitter policy, unaware Khanna is worried about the Bill of Rights. Wait, is this generating a huge backlash on Hill re-speech? Do these people like write in actual words? Sometimes I'm like, is this how people actually email each other? I've never emailed somebody with not a complete sentence. Happy to chat if you're up for it. Best, Ro. And then she goes on. Hi, Congressman Khanna. Thank you for reaching out, and we appreciate the heads up. We put our clarifying thread to tweets earlier this evening to explain our policy around posting private information and link directly to hacked materials. But again, if it's Trump, post away, baby. The press secretary account was not permanently suspended. We requested that she delete the tweet containing the material, and it's violation of our rules, and our account was restricted. I'd be happy to jump on a phone call for you. Just kidding, I'm busy. And then we continue down. Khanna tries to rewrap the conversation to the First Amendment, mentioning in which it is generally hard to find in the files. Within a day, head of public policy Lauren Culbertson receives a ghastly letter report from Carl Senzabo of the research firm NetChoice, which had already polled 12 members of Congress, 9 R's and 3 D's, from the House Judiciary Committee Representative Judy Chow's office, right? Sorry, Chew. NetChoice lets Twitter know about it. NetChoice lets Twitter know a bloodbath awaits in upcoming Hill hearings, which members saying is a tipping point in complaining tech has grown so big that they can't even regulate themselves. So the government need to intervene. And this is popping off right now. We're seeing this right now with YouTube right in the midst of they're trying to deal with this right now and trying to get bigger content creators to jump on phone calls and speak on behalf of YouTube. But at this point, people like Twitter, like YouTube, like Facebook and stuff like that, people are done with this crap. People are looking at this crap and they're going, we're not going to back you up after you have purposely, obviously suppressed information that was important for the American people to know. But I digress. I like this like a bloodbath, and this is the tipping point. Yeah, because it's so freaking obvious. The Hunter Biden story was one of the most obvious suppressions of information. And there are still people today that try to suppress it and pretend like it's not a big deal. And again, no one cares about Hunter's drug use. It's all the other stuff. Sansapo reports that to Twitter that some Hill figures are characterizing the laptop story as tech's access Hollywood moment. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. When asked how this bad situation is, one staffer says it's tech's Hollywood access moment. And it was no Hillary behind it. Also, Elon Musk did not kill himself. Others were more, or Matt Taibbi. Others were more blunt. Tech is screwed, and rightfully so. Yes, because you should just be a platform allowing people to talk and share information. Let's continue. 36. Twitter files continued. The First Amendment isn't absolute. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, it is. Oh my God. I freaking hate this stupid comment. Oh, why do people say that over again? The First Amendment isn't absolute. Zamzora's letter contains chilling passages relating Democrat lawmakers' attitudes. They want more moderation. And as for the Bill of Rights, it's not absolute. Yeah, because what is it even anyways? The Democrats, meanwhile, complain that the companies are inept. They let conservatives muddy the water and make the Biden campaign look corrupt. Turns out it was, even though Biden is innocent because it was just hacked material. With so much covering up going on forever, hard to say this is the worst. And that's what I think too. I think there's more to come. I think the fact that this story has been unleashed on a Friday night of all times, I think there's more to come on Monday, and I will be here for that. They linked this to Hillary Clinton's email scandal. She did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong. God, you know when you're a religious zealot for your political party. She did nothing wrong. But because the press wouldn't let the story go, it became a scandal far out of proportion. In my mind, social media is doing the same thing. It doesn't moderate enough harmful content. I don't know, like child porn. Oh yeah, I guess we'll look into that. No, we'll wait till somebody buys the company and then we'll finally start purging it. And then at that time, every other company will try to pull out because you gotta have it on the platform. The scandal might be the most. Yeah, I hope so. It certainly seems like it. It's getting worse. In my mind, social media has been doing the same to moderate harmful back. Blah 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 blah. If the companies moderate more, conservatives wouldn't even think to use social media for disinformation, misinformation, or otherwise. I like that this portion right here is like conservatives wouldn't even think. Not that, because it's only the conservatives that engage in disinformation and misinformation. Never has there ever been a time where a Democrat or a liberal has done the same. Ever. Because they're perfect and they're beautiful. The Democrats were in agreement. Social media needs to moderate more because they're corrupting democracy. God, that word. It's a freaking republic. Shut up. And making the truth relative. We need to wait for and hear from Hillary before we decide this story. Yeah, exactly, Willie. I like that they're like, the Democrats are in agreement that social media doesn't moderate more because corrupting democracy and making truth relative. Making all truth relative. When pushed on how the government might insist on that, consistent with the First Amendment, they demurred. The First Amendment isn't absolute. Yes, it is. Part 2 will probably be even juicier, and this might be the tip of the iceberg. I hope so. I mean, this is only like... So much of the story is just confirming everything most of us believe to be true. And it's just insane to see. It's nice to see people that cannot lie about this. You can't lie about this conversation when the receipts are right in front of you. It's like showing a child, hey, I caught you in a lie. And then they keep lying. You're like, it doesn't matter what you say anymore. You can't talk your way out of this. You're caught. You're busted. This is happening. It's so delicious that the Democrats are in literal pain because they don't control Twitter anymore. I know. Well, I bet you're gonna see more people on the left start to go off Twitter even more. Might be the Democrats' Pandora's box. Yeah, it might be. Okay, we continue. It's amazing subplot of Twitter Hunter Biden laptop affair was how much was done without knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey. Again, I keep saying that. Jack Dorsey doesn't know anything of what's going on. While reviewing Gadai's emails, I saw a familiar name, my own. Dorsey sent her a copy of my Substack article blasting the incident. I like that. That's fantastic. Salty liberal tears, Junior. Gotta love it. I know. It's almost too salty. There are multiple instances in the files that Dorsey intervening to question suspensions and other moderation actions. So that's good to see. I mean, I always wondered what Dorsey was actually thinking. I feel like Dorsey helped create this app, and then it got too big to the point where he wasn't even in control of anything of what was going on. And anytime he spoke up, he was easily flooded with anything. So it's good to see that Jack Dorsey was actually questioning suspensions and other moderation actions for accounts across the political spectrum. It's good to see. But I'm sure it's, what side it leans on. I mean, based on this article, we already know what side it leans on. The problem with the hacked material ruling, because it wasn't hacked, but keep going, Matt. Several sources said that there was, and this normally required an official law enforcement finding of a hack, which is a good point. There was never a law enforcement saying it was hacked because it wasn't. But such a finding never appears throughout that which executive describes as a whirlwind 24-hour company-wide mess. Elon just tweeted they'll do a live Q&A tomorrow. Oh, frick yeah. I might go live for that. I'll go live for the Q&A tomorrow. If you guys want to hang out for that, that might be a really interesting. Lie, deny. That's the criminal code. Never admit to anything. Dems never will admit to fraud, and it's just like, I'm not even like thinking I'm just thinking like big tech. These people in big tech, these sycophants, these people that have like made it to be the religion for their side to win at all costs. These people are the problem, and they've always been the problem. And then we continue. It's been a whirlwind 96 hours for me too. There's been so much to come, including answers to questions about issues like shadow banning, which is like, I always wondered if I was shadow banned. I'm not saying, I've been stuck on a number since I got started. And it hit when Trump got into office, and it just went boom. And I just like could not grow at all. Live Q&A, it's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'll definitely go live for that. Hopefully I should be able to live stream that because that would be interesting. More follower accounts, fate of various individual accounts, and more. The issues are not limited to the political right. Good night, everyone. Thanks. Twitter literally interfered in the 2020 election. Yeah. like this is perfect interference. Like this story should be everywhere. All of this stuff. Twitter board. I just imagine them smoking that many cigarettes at the same time. That's history right now. You understand? Everything woke turns to shit. This dude gets it, folks. Oh my god. I don't appreciate it. Seems totally legit. Well, she did 24. This is insane. Even if like Elon buying Twitter just for this, this is like delicious on its own. I'm so surprised that the globalists haven't pulled JFK or Trump on Elon. You know they want to. It would be ended all the problems. I'm literally dumbfounded by this. I think it should be the biggest story of all time for the year. I like the fact that Matt Taibbi is the one that broke this, and that Elon is like backing this and clapping this, like his own company. It kind of like shows reasons why he did what he did, while people are like trying to question. People try to make it seem like Elon is like the worst CEO ever, and in fact, he's one of the best. Elon opened up for one of the masses to see. Yeah, what a blessing, man. What a freaking blessing that is. like you can't call it anything else than to have somebody actually willing to engage in the fight. Because for so long, people on the right and left just so weak and scared to speak up. I don't know. God. What is everyone's thoughts? Do you guys think this is going to change anything? Do you think it's going to, besides make Twitter better, do you think like people like CNN are going to talk about this, or MSNBC are going to talk about this, or do you think they're like equal to blame, so they're just going to like cower in fear? That's enough information for a lot of criminals and CP. I wish.
Becoming more polarized.
I wish people were like held accountable for some of these things. I just don't think it ever happens. Like it's like, Jeffrey Epstein and stuff. Like it's like Ghislaine Maxwell. It's like who are these people that sexualize these children? I don't know. We'll never find out, but we do know who pushed them, and that's all that matters. Oh, okay, cool. So we'll never find out. Perfect. All right, let's. I want to hear from the response from Tucker Carlson. I guess Tucker Carlson had the New York Times writer on his show tonight, and see her response.
But we wanted to speak first to Miranda Devine. She is, of course, a New York Post columnist. We spoke to her at the time, more than 2 years ago, about the censorship of this story. She's since written a book about it called Laptop.
Junior says, I think we have turned the corner. The old media will die because Twitter is going to empower people on the other side. Yeah. You're seeing them die currently. I mean, CNN's laying off people like crazy.
From Hell, which is excellent. She joins us tonight. Miranda Devine, you are at the very center of this story. What do you make of it?
Look, I think we've seen quite a bit that's useful. It's not really the smoking gun we'd hoped for. I feel that Elon Musk has held back some material. In particular, there's a tweet in which Matt Taibbi says, well, he hasn't seen any evidence that law enforcement specifically warned off Twitter from our story. But that's just not correct. I've seen a sworn affidavit from Yoel Roth, the former head of Twitter's trust and safety. He was meeting every week before the election with FBI and other intelligence officials. They warned specifically of what they called a hack and leak operation, a dump of Russian disinformation. And Yoel Roth says that in those meetings, he was told there was a, quote, rumor that it was about Hunter Biden. So they seeded that information with the social media giants, the FBI did, and that ensured that within hours of our story going live on October 14, 2020, 3 weeks before the election, it was censored. Now we're finding out a little bit more that there was discussion behind the scenes at Twitter, quite an active argument about whether this was a First Amendment problem. But the other interesting thing is how little Jack Dorsey was involved. He was obviously...
Again, he's obviously not really a part of everything that's going on. It took a billionaire for us to finally know a fraction of the truth from the past 3 years. God, I know. It took somebody with money willing to engage in the fight that cared more about knowledge and truth than he did his own pocketbooks. It says a lot about somebody.
Just blindsided, it seems, by the people under him who were intent on censoring this. And I think we have to point the figure, you mentioned him already, Jim Baker, Twitter's #1 lawyer, who says, he says their caution is warranted. Now, that's coming from your top lawyer. You're going to pay attention to it. He, of course, is former FBI general counsel, very much involved in the Russia collusion hoax.
What's interesting is, for the purposes of today's story, which, as I've said 5 times, is still unfolding, but Elon Musk announced earlier that this release of documents was going to begin at 5 p.m. Eastern. We're now more than 3 hours past that. and we still haven't seen everything that they're going to release. He said, well, actually, at the last minute, we're getting some facts straight. How likely is it, do you believe, of course it's certain, that he was leaned on by government agencies? Just like everyone who tries to release all the information is leaned on by government agencies.
Yeah, and the pressure has to have been immense. I remember just yesterday,
Elon Musk didn't kill himself.
Wednesday, he met
Papa, what I miss?
with Tim Cook from Apple, who had been threatening, even though Elon Musk now says he wasn't threatening, but he was threatening, as was the White House, that Twitter would basically be wiped out by being removed from the Google and Apple app stores. And so Elon Musk met in person with Tim Cook. They had a stroll around the pond of Apple headquarters, and it came out of that saying, well, Apple is not going to do that, never was going to do that. Well, obviously some sort of accommodation, you would think, was made between the two of them, and perhaps Elon Musk has given us a sort of a tailored or redacted version of all the material behind the scenes, because I know from the lawyers who were involved in the deposition last week of FBI agent Elvis Chan that there's much more to the story with the social media companies, and that top Twitter people like Yoel Roth, the former head of trust and safety, basically the top censor, the top moderation guy, he admitted that in one of those meetings that Hunter Biden's name was brought up. So while Mark Zuckerberg's been quiet about that, and while in this particular dump of information from Twitter so far, 38 or something tweets so far, there's been no mention of Hunter Biden being mentioned, but we know he was mentioned by the FBI to the social media giants. So will that come out in this feed from Elon Musk? Is he holding something back? Or is it just that Facebook really was first out of the blocks to censor the New York Post, and Twitter followed suit? So I don't know. I suspect that Elon Musk has been leaned on, and he's kept a little bit of information in reserve. Yeah, well, there are still thousands of pages of Warren Commission documents under seal, so that would be consistent with the way things work in this country. Miranda Devine, thank you so much. Great to see you tonight.
Because we have to make sure misinformation doesn't get out. That is crazy. I can only imagine how she's feeling. Papa, I literally read all of Matt Taibbi's Twitter, his entire Twitter feed on here, and we went through like every single tweet. Whatever dirt Elon exposes, I don't think I'll be surprised. Well, so far I haven't been surprised by anything. I mean, you literally just saw, the heads of Twitter and people within Twitter having conversations back and forth, discussing how to suppress it, how we're going to lie to the press, how when this comes out and people actually get acknowledge how like incredibly biased this looks, how we're going to work our way through it. You're literally just like watching children. JN Systems, what's up, man? If Elon is leaned on by government agencies, Elon should also release a government request on first reports, if any. Yeah, I would hope so. Also, he didn't kill himself. It's like, like what the heck? And people like what? And people like Derek can get support from Twitter. That'd be awesome, dude. I am envisioning that Monday is going to be a release of way more information. The fact that it's been released late Friday night just tells me there's more to come. At least I believe. Nobody releases huge stories on a Friday night because, well, people have lives. Unlike me. I bet SBF and Kanye are happy they aren't trending. Yeah. I literally just thought, Kanye who? I'm so done talking about Kanye too. There's so many people that are just still like talking about Kanye. It's so boring. But here's just a reminder also of our president lying about it. Just another flashback because it's important to see.
50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plant. They have said that this has all the 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. This is classic Trump. We have 4 days left, and all of a sudden
everyone.
there's a laptop. There's overwhelming evidence that from the intelligence community that the Russians are engaged.
I still think that the stories from the fall about your son Hunter were Russian disinformation as a fear campaign, like you said.
Yes. I know you'd ask it. I have no response.
You know, Joe Biden has never lied in his life, okay? And I know that we just went through the whole Twitter thing confirming that the story was real, and they try to dismiss it and stuff like that. And not only have all these facts been backing up, and these pictures and stuff are all real and stuff like that, and he continues to lie about it. He's a good guy deep down inside. Biden is your friend. The government is here to help. I can't wait to hear all those what those hallmarks are. Me too. Biden was a lot more coherent then than he was, dude. Yeah. Well, we talked about that last night on the show with Shane Hazel.
It's a last-ditch effort in this desperate campaign to smear me and my family. The vast majority of the intelligence people have come out and said there's no basis at all.
That makes it worse. You have a bunch of CIA and FBI agents telling you, hey, nothing to see here. Yeah, because, well, their track record is so good. Let's keep that one going. God. I can't wait for, like, the next press conference, and Karine Abdul-Jabbar will have to answer for these things, and Peter Doocy is about to have a freaking nightmare with him. He's working so hard to convince us it's not true. I know. Again, it's like a child. It's like a child being like told, hey, I caught you in the lie. And he's like, no, nah, Dad, nah, you don't know anything. It's just, it's too good. It's in the following, he's not working so hard to convince us. Okay, so, and now we have.
It's great to talk to you.
Now we have James Woods is apparently suing.
James Woods joins us now.
Suing the DNC after this was just released. Yeah, they'll protest loudly. Yeah, they will. Can't wait to see what he's got to say now. I know, me neither.
By phone. James Woods, are you there?
Yes, I am, Tucker. So nice to talk to you.
It's great to talk to you. I vaguely remember when your tweet was pulled down. You, of course, remember it. Did you suspect at the time it was pulled down at the direct request of the Democratic National
My mommy keeps telling me it's not true. Yeah,
Special Committee?
Thy protest loudly.
I'm not surprised at all.
thy protest too loudly. Kareem Perrine will say, let's be clear. The intelligence community is saying that Twitter is, in fact, the KGB. Yeah, exactly. They're going to be asking about the story, and then somebody's going to be like, hey, what are you, a Russian agent?
Well, I'm shocked the way any other American would be if he were a target of a presidential candidate and a major political party. But here's why I'm not shocked, Twitter. You may, Chuck, you may be surprised to know that there was a lawsuit a while back. A woman accused me of saying that she gave a Nazi salute, and there was a whole bunch of stuff about it on Twitter, and I didn't. I actually asked, why would somebody say that about her? Without going into the details of that lawsuit.
James Woods, I love John Carpenter's Vampires. I'm a big fan of James Woods on Family Guy.
It turned out that the DNC was behind that. I won the lawsuit in federal court. It wasn't reported very much. I've been a target of these people for 6 years. They have destroyed my career. They have destroyed my livelihood. They've destroyed my faith in a country that my family has defended in the military since the Revolutionary War. I'm about to be inducted into Sons of the American Revolution, the Sons of the Revolution. I cannot. You're catching me a bit off guard because I literally just walked in the door and my
I literally just walked in the door and I have to take a crap.
Wife said, "Have you seen your phone?" I was at the firing range, believe it or not.
Firing range drink. Drink.
Good for you.
I was at the firing range and I was announcing the Pledge of Allegiance while I was there.
My rights under the Second Amendment, which I guess now that I don't have any First Amendment rights anymore, I'm glad that I still have some Second Amendment rights. I
For now.
Astonishing. I'm for the first time in my life, honestly speaking.
Wait, you guys both thought James Woods was dead?
Well, it is astonishing. As you just pointed out, civil law is used extensively by the left to really crush people on the right. Alex Jones just had $1 billion settlement against him because he said something.
Get him, Willie.
But he said something people didn't like, and they wrecked his life, and the lives of many other people, and they tried to wreck yours. Is there some kind of legal or civil recourse that you would have against the people who violated your First Amendment rights?
I can guarantee you one thing, more than anything else you'll ever hear in your life. I will be getting a lawyer. I will be suing the Democratic National Committee no matter what, whether I win or lose. I am going to stand up for the rights that every American, not a so-called
James Woods was the only reason to watch The Specialist. Yeah.
celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. I'm hardly recognizable anymore because my career has been destroyed by these very people. And I will sue, and I'm hoping other people will sue. And if it turns out there are a lot of us on this list where the DNC targeted us, and I will quote the immortal words of Joseph Welch when he attacked Joe McCarthy for the enemies list he had, at long last, sir, have you no shame?
Yes.
President Biden, all of your stocky little operatives in the DNC who have targeted American citizens, have you, Mr. President, have all of you at last no shame?
Yeah. And of course the answer is no, they don't have.
No, they don't. They don't care. They could care less. I mean, we just watched the clip of Biden saying over and over again how the story is fake. It's bullcrap. And CIA agents and FBI agents also agree that the story is bullcrap, which should tell you everything. I mean, anybody with 2 brain cells would tell you that if the FBI says it's fake, you should probably think about it for a couple seconds and see if it's real. Even all those treasonous behavior by our government, exciting to be alive in America. Yeah. Dude, Junior, exactly. I am excited to be alive today because of people like Elon Musk allowing the floodgates of freedom of speech to come out. The fact that we had Kanye West with Alex Jones and Kanye was saying these insane things. I want more of this. I want more. We need to be able to have real communication that is uncensored, and so that we can actually get to know what actually people believe and think through and allow people. People think it will make people's anxiety higher and make you crazier. It will do the exact opposite because you won't be lied to and you can just be yourself. You don't have to always be on eggshells every 5 seconds of your life, like worried. Am I going to say the wrong thing? It's going to get me fired. Am I going to think through these things? We need to be allowed to have these conversations, and we need to be allowed to know that, so our own government was colluding, was encouraging Twitter to regulate and take down stories. This is a very communist. This isn't a free society type of thing. This is a huge story. This is something that happens, I don't know, in places like Russia or China or something like that, or Cuba. This is what happens there. You don't want this kind of thing, even if it makes your candidate look bad. You should want the truth out no matter what. If your darling candidate, whether it's Biden or Trump or Stacey Abrams or Beto Rolik, who's super Spanish, you should want to know this information, because it's important to have this conversation. Kanye is the ultimate test. You either have free speech or you don't. Exactly. We need to have it. I loathe the fact that on YouTube, I feel like I have to censor myself constantly. I hate it. I hate it so much. I feel like I can't be myself. I feel like I feel like I have to tiptoe because I would love this to be my actual job at some point, but then it doesn't give me the freedom to just express and be as silly and crazy as I want to be, because I'm like, oh, what if I say the wrong thing at the wrong time and then they take away my channel, or they put my channel up as misinformation, or give me a strike for bullcrap like this. We need to be able to talk to each other. We need to be able to express what we think. Even if what you're going to say is incredibly racist, that needs to come out, because then you and I can look at that person and go, oh, that person is racist. Like, I want that. I miss the old days of YouTube. Oh my God, me too. The old days of YouTube and with crazy death videos and like beheadings and like stuff that you didn't actually want to see, but it was on there and all your friends were watching, and you're like closing your eyes like this and you're like trying not to look at the videos. I miss those days so much. It's like it shaped us who we are today. It shaped us that we were like not afraid to engage in dialogue because of how insane the internet was back in the day. Rumble keeps looking better, fighting the good fight. Dude, the minute Rumble's search gets fixed, their recommendations get fixed, their algorithm gets fixed, that platform will take off because of that reason. Kanye still owns Parler, so he can talk. Oh, yeah, that's true. Kanye does still own Parler, who is on Parler? I use Parler for like 5 seconds. I never check it. If Trump ended his silence on Twitter tonight, it would be the cherry on the top. Dude, Trump going on Twitter is such an easy slam dunk. I don't get why he won't just do it. I mean, I do understand, but like, it's so moronic, the fact that he won't just jump on it. Twitter may become the new YouTube. I hope so. I mean, their video quality isn't too bad. He constantly tries to say that he's going to treat content creators better by offering them more money and stuff like that. So hopefully, Twitter has been one of the hardest platforms for me to grow on. Twitter and Instagram those are the two platforms I just cannot crack. The code, I don't get it. Rumble is pretty rad. Yeah, it's pretty rad. I like the fact that like you could just say whatever shit comes to your mind. Twitter will be the new YouTube because it could be more free. I hope so. I hope to have like streams on Twitter and Rumble only and just unleash. Just go nuts and just have fun, because like comedy reigns in the areas of freedom. You can't be restricted in comedy. It doesn't work, because the minute you tell somebody who enjoys comedy that there's restriction and that there's like parameters, they immediately go to those parameters and they want to break it. That's me. I want to break it so bad. It drives me nuts. I've had 4 strikes on YouTube, so it slowly reined me in, but that's about it. Twitter is going to be the cater to the creators that Elon said. Yeah, I saw that, and I hope that's true, and I just hope I can grow on Twitter to be able to make it make sense. I like the existence of Instagram on hearsay. Yeah, me too. Trump will return to Twitter eventually. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, he owns True Social, and there's probably a part of him that goes, I just feel like the minute Trump goes on Twitter, what's the point of True Social? I don't get it. You know? Once Trump tweets on Twitter, it's like admitting defeat and admitting like, okay, True Social, there's literally no reason to be on it. Salty Cracker just signed with Rumble deal doing advertising during the live show. Good for him, man. Good for freaking Salty Crack. Good for him. Matt, comedy needs First Amendment protection along with religion. Yes. Yeah. I let the people that want to be religious alone. Leave them alone. Like, if they believe something, let them, like, the fact that there's like new laws being passed to condemn that. It could be that YouTube is wrecked, censoring wrong speech, can't say anything on your mind, and then allow Knack Yoga on their platform last year. Yes. Thank you, JN Systems. Hey, you're new in this chat. I appreciate you being here, man. Or woman. I don't know. Let's see. They, them. But, yeah. The fact there are some things on YouTube that I'm like, how is this allowed? When I just make a joke and it's all of a sudden seen as like over the top, insane, crazy, and what have they labeled me as, like bullying or misbehaving? I've seen one of my videos labeled as that they wrote back like misbehaving or like falsely misleading people. I'm like, yeah, I'm joking. It's a freaking joke. That's the whole point of a joke, to make a joke. I'm not serious. Trump won't go to Twitter. He makes a lot of dumb decisions. He misses opportunities a lot. Trump has too many idiots around him telling him what to do. And that's his biggest issue, is he surrounds himself with people that give him bad advice. Like, hey, you should allow Nick Fuentes to come eat with you tonight. Like, yeah, maybe like that doesn't matter. Like, in the grand scheme, like, it's just, I don't know. I mean, we got more stuff right here. Here's Joe Biden right here, again, talking about Hunter Biden's laptop, which is just, icing on the cake.
Thank you. Yes. God love you, man. You're a one-horse pony. I tell you. Thank you. I promise you, my Justice Department will be totally on its own, making its judgments about how they should proceed. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Just like Twitter. Derek struggles with genders. I do. It's YouTube. You got to struggle with genders. You can't just say what's on your mind. And then here's another one. This is one of my favorite ones. I think this is one of my favorite Joe Biden moments when it comes to his involvement with Hunter Biden. One of my favorite clips ever. They're trying to label comedy as hurtful and hateful. Yeah, they do. Because remember what Sheila Jackson said the other day on our show? That there has actually been proof that sticks and stones do break bones. There's experts have proven that sticks and stones absolutely break bones. It's a fact. If that was Donald Trump Jr.'s laptop, everyone would be all over it. Oh, yeah. I've been just thinking, like, the FTX guy, if he was a main donor of Trump's campaign or just a Republican campaign, can you imagine? That guy will be facing more jail time than January 6ers who trespassed. He will be, but yet he walks scot-free. He's just like walking around doing interviews with New York Times. No big deal. I want to make sure everyone's okay. One of the Christ is one word pony. That's Biden's way of saying one trick pony. I don't know what a one word pony is, but I want to ride it. And I want to ride it all night long. All right. But here's my freaking favorite clip as we reminisce of all the times Joe Biden lied about Hunter Biden. And again, I say that again. He lied. Here we go.
No one has said my son has done anything wrong, and I did not on any occasion. And no one has ever said it. Not
I
one.
didn't say you were doing anything wrong.
You said I set up my son to work in an oil company. Isn't that what you said? Get your words straight, Jack.
That's what I hear on MSNBC.
You don't hear that on MSNBC. You did not hear that. But you heard. Look, okay, I'm not going to get in an argument with you, man.
No, I don't want to.
Well, yeah, you do, but look, fat. Look, here's the deal.
Look, fat.
Here's the deal.
It looks like you don't have any more backbone than Trump does.
Any other questions?
Let him talk. If he wants to call you fat, let him call you fat. How dare you? Don't you love the audience? He responds back with giving a little shit back, and all of a sudden it's a problem. Hey, you can call me fat, but if I call you fat, that's when things go right. Live, love, live. Hey, what's up? Love, live. Typically, you have to pay for those $50 to go all night long. Is that what it costs for a one-word pony? All night long. James Richards, morning. Absolutely lovely morning. I love that. Bunch of sheep around Joe, except for one guy. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to that one guy who's just holding it down, asking the tough questions. Body shaming. He was body shaming. How dare you body shame? You know, not all of us are as beautiful and skillful and gorgeous and the body of a Biden. I'm going for the Biden look this summer. One of these days. Okay. All right. Not to change course, but we have Barack Obama talking. It's so good. We have Barack Obama talking, and he starts talking about a crazy uncle. And he calls this crazy person Crazy Uncle Joe. I'm not kidding. Listen to this clip of Obama today. This is Obama today.
We all know some folks in our lives who we don't wish them ill will. They say crazy stuff. We're all like, well, you know, Uncle Joe, you know what happened to him. You know, it's okay. They're part of the family, but you don't give them serious responsibilities. We all know some folks.
Yeah, you make him president of the United States. What? God. Is that a Freudian slip or what? We all know some folks in our lives, we don't wish them ill will. They say crazy stuff like Uncle Joe. God. Yo, it's so, you know, the jokes write themselves. You don't even have to. Biden Beach Bod. Well, hi, welcome to Biden Beach Bod. Get your workout on, yo. Get your workout on. Join me. $1 for the first 30 days. $1 for the first 30 days. No equipment needed. You get the body you've been dreaming of. The Biden bod. It's the president, I know. But that literally happened today. I mean, how is this real life? How do we live in a time like this where people are just like, oh, okay. Like, wait, did you mean Joe Biden? No, I'm just talking about that crazy Uncle Joe. You know what I mean. Did you hear that CNN had massive layoffs and had to sell their properties? Yes. Did you not hear me say that like 30 minutes ago? Oh, I was talking about how like CNN had all those massive, like when you brought up how freedom of speech is going to ruin the corporate media, basically. And I said, yeah, because CNN's having massive layoffs, which is just like so delicious. But yet Don Lemon keeps his job because, you know, Don Lemon was spitting facts yesterday. He was talking about how women's soccer doesn't pull in as much money and they shouldn't be paid the same. It was unbelievable. It's almost too good to be true. Let's see if there's any other things. Freaking Uncle Joe, dude. James Earl Jones. This has been... Oh, wait. Dang, you guys are saying some scandalous stuff. I have to uncensor for you. Obama looks like... Yeah. Wait, Obama dresses like an Asian dictator now? Wait, what? An Asian dictator? God, that freaking tickled me. That was too funny. Wait, I have to like uncensor a bunch of y'all's chats. I hate that YouTube censors so much on here. Obama looks like crap. You know, he's running things behind the scenes. Yeah, probably. Yeah, what is Obama even doing? Like, just go home. You have like 4 different houses all over the world. You have beachfront property in Hawaii that only I could dream about, that I'll never be able to have, and yet you're so restricted by our racist America, and yet you live a life that only people dream about. Yeah, just go enjoy your life. Go away. That's what his black shirt reminded me of. Okay, I must be shadow banned. No, you're not shadow banned. YouTube censors just censors a lot of stuff. Whenever they feel like it's like borderline hate speech, or if it's like if you say like this person's stupid in the chat, it'll get censored. I can't even fill a meeting room with people. Yeah, you guys are great. They're a bunch of gaslighters. Yeah, they are. They are a bunch of gaslighters. Speaking of gaslighters, Biden was asked today if he's going to help. If he's going to help Governor Warnock today. If he's going to Georgia to help Governor Warnock, and listen to Biden's words very carefully. Listen to how he lies and then pulls it back. It just, I mean, he's just getting worse and worse by the day.
Thank you.
Mr. President, why are you going to Georgia to help Senator Warnock?
I'm going to Georgia today to help Senator Warren, not to Georgia.
I'm going to Georgia today to help Senator Warnock, he says.
Senator Warren, not to Georgia. I'm going to help Senator Warnock today. I'm doing a major fundraiser up in Boston.
Thanks
today for our next and continued Senate candidate.
What? I'm going to Georgia today to help Senator Warnock, not Georgia. I'm going to Senator Warnock by doing a major fundraiser in Boston. God. I just sometimes I can't. I just can't even. I don't even know what to say anymore. Sometimes when he talks, I don't know why people still pretend like I still think of the day that I was with my 2 liberal friends in a room when Biden was running, and I said, it's not a speech impediment. The dude has cognitive decline. He's too old to run. And they looked at me in the face and they said, that's a right-wing conspiracy. And I was like, okay. You can't have a discussion with people like that. And then they immediately go, his brain is mush. Okay, I got to undo that. But you can you can swear all you want. You won't get censored. Papa, I just uncensored you. You're welcome. Biden is a loving dad, but a horrible human. I will say that he does treat his drug addict son well. Offering him jobs and making him bunches of money and living the dream we've all wanted to live. But all those things. God. I love the gaslighting. Does anybody just really enjoy gaslighting? It makes me laugh. Like when people lie to my face, when people just look to me in my eyeballs and they just start gaslighting and lying to me, it just makes me laugh because I'm like, the insecurity, the ego within you is so ridiculous that I can't even put words to it. It's so silly. James Richard says, I hate gaslighting. Okay, that's the difference between me and you, I guess. I just assume gaslighting all the time from people in corporate media and especially our politicians, and I mean all politicians. I just expect the gaslighting. And so whenever I hear them talk, I'm like, okay, what is really the truth of what they're saying? But why do they feel like they need to lie about this? I'd like Biden for a dad, but not a friend. Why not? Biden could hook you up. Biden could get you a job at a Ukrainian gas company if you have zero experience and make more money you've ever made in your life. You don't even have to show up to a meeting. You just go up there and say hello and stuff. Some people secretly get off by lying right into a person's face. It's a weird thrill for them. Yes. Yeah, they're called pathological liars. Yeah, there are a lot of people that really enjoy that kind of behavior. And they're the same people that will like light fires or disobey like their leaders, like even if it's good advice. It's the same kind of people. They want to be disruptors. They want chaos, and they get off to that chaos. Oh sure, gaslighting reminds me of my childhood. Oh God. Oh no. Did your dad never show up to a baseball game when he said he was going to be there, Papa? I was raised on gaslighting, bullying on reruns of Star Trek and Star Trek Next Generation. Was your dad never there for you? You know what, Papa? If you started in a baseball game, I would show up. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be there because I don't care. I'm sorry that your dad that was never there. I ignore politicians and news now because they intentionally twist false narratives. I still follow current events through commentators and social media. And I think that's like a lot of people in today's culture, because why would you listen to them? You know, at this point, it's more fun to pop on a show like this where I listen to what the politicians say, I watch what the commentators say and corporate media says, and I just laugh in their faces at their lies and their ridiculousness. That sounds way more fun to me than like just being in your room by yourself watching the news and getting bullcrap and you laughing to yourself. It's better to laugh amongst community. I think that's more important, you know? It keeps you from going insane too. Like just to be able to look at like the gaslighting and just go, what the freak is going on, dude? And just laugh. That's important to do that. Some girlfriends love to cheat on you. Oh no. Some girlfriends love to cheat on you, then convince you to not dump them again and again. They do that. They do that, don't they? Because they want the power trip. Those girlfriends are evil sometimes. But I wanted to watch this. Has anybody seen the new trailer for Indiana Jones? I hadn't seen it. I'm a big Indiana Jones fan. I hated the last movie, of course, because I'm a normal human being, but I wanted to watch this. Let me know your thoughts in the chat.
I miss the desert. I miss the sea. And I miss waking up every morning, wondering what wonderful adventure the new day will bring to us.
Those days have come and gone.
Perhaps not.
I don't believe in magic. But a few times in my life, I've seen things I can't explain. And I've come to believe it's not so much what you believe. It's how hard you believe it.
It's how hard you believe it. God. You better believe it's so hard.
Who is this man?
I'm her godfather.
Related. Get back.
I mean, that looks fun. He literally witnessed God's wrath. Yeah, yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't... You know, maybe he's just an old man, forgets the ways in which he lived. We've all been there, that We've seen something once in our life, and then we changed. Magic isn't real. Curry, how dare you say that? Have you ever seen some of the best magicians in the world, like David Blaine? or Chris Angel? I mean, Chris Angel. I mean, how can you say some of his stunts aren't real? They're almost too good. Wait. I mean, you're trying to tell me that like this isn't real?
You have a phone? Can you turn your phone on?
You're trying to tell me this isn't real?
Trust me. And I'm gonna download it if it's okay. But you could keep it as well.
Wait. That's what she said. Yeah, exactly. You literally went and Scott. I like movies with overt stereotypes. Yeah, me too. You forgot that he meant a 900-year-old man. Oh yeah. Yeah, like maybe even I forgot that. Like, yeah, the 900-year-old man watching his dad come back from the dead, basically from that bullet wound shot. He wanted to die in Star Wars and contribute to ruining Star Wars. Have you ever seen the movie Unforgotten Story? Yeah, Never Ending Story. Oh, of course.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
I'm gonna cross your legs, cross this leg over.
You're trying to tell me this isn't real?
You together? Come over here. And just, okay? Just hold her legs like this, okay? All right? And then when I tell you to, you can let them down, okay? Okay, just like that, relax. Okay.
This is real.
You all ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes. I want you just to close your eyes, just relax yourself.
Good night, James.
Relax yourself.
We're gonna end with magic here.
Pull!
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Oh my god. It's so clearly fake. I love it. Okay. The quote on the day is this from Charles Ketterington. Thinking is one thing that no one has been able to tax yet. I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining me tonight. It means so much to me hanging out with me. Tomorrow, I will try to go live for the live Q&A if I'm available. I do have a few things to do at work, but did Elon say when he's going to actually do it? I'm gonna go live for the actual Q&A. With Elon Musk and see how it goes. I saw that half chick on Tonight Show. Yeah, exactly. I haven't seen when he said he's going to do the Q&A, but I will try to go live for that. It's not what you believe, it's how hard you want to. It's how hard you believe it. Yes, Curry. Yes. It's not what you believe, it's how hard you believe it. Let that be your battle cry this Friday. No, it's real. It is real. So we might get a treat. Yeah. So I'm going to go live for tomorrow's live Q&A with Elon Musk whenever he publishes that. Hopefully it will be later in the day. If not, we'll see. But I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining me. It means so much to me that you guys hung out with me. I'm looking forward to the Q&A. It's going to be a big news because, yeah, hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully people will ask good questions. I'll try to ask some good questions. We'll see. But you guys are the best people on earth. Don't let anybody tell you differently. You guys are awesome people. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. You guys are the type of people that want to press into culture, want to press into the news, and is not afraid to engage in discussion. I'm so thankful for every single one of you guys. I like that you guys not all of you guys believe everything the same things I believe or agree with me all the time. And I like that. I like that we have this community that we can just hang out together and be normal freaking human beings every once in a while and just laugh at the insanity. Elon doesn't call for press conferences. No, he doesn't. Elon is the press conference. But you guys are amazing people. Have a fantastic night. Enjoy your night. May you enjoy some of the simpler things in life this Christmas season. Hey, no, you're the best. Thank you so much. I believe in the power of the whole wheel toast. Me too. Good night, guys. I'm going to go eat some of my brisket I smoked the other day and enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy your night. You guys are the best people on earth. I love every single one of you guys. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Bye.